Welcome to fantasy. What the fuck are we even doing? I think the league got taken over by Taylor Swift. Which okay, I just need to break into this right out the gate. We're just gonna do it for the
aren't we
thrills.
all Swifties?
Right. Well, except the fact of we're having this conversation of how Taylor Swift could just buy the fucking NFL and fuck the Swifties. That's never going to happen. The non-profit organization known as the NFL is never being bought out.
I don't know. If anybody's gonna do it, it's her.
It's not
She's got the money.
But yeah, welcome to fantasy football.
that one meme was my favorite. It's like Swift football or Swifties. I don't remember. It was something that was like football for beginners Swifties or some shit like that. And it was like, and it went through like 6 points for a touchdown, 3 points for an extra or for a field goal, and then it said, most importantly, at the end of the day, remember the Dallas Cowboys always suck. Oh man,
poor Clay this week.
It's been a week.
Yeah,
it's been a week.
It's been one hell of a week.
Of football, fucking wild week.
Let me tell you, when I had under 20 points on Sunday, and I was like, "Fuck my life! Why do I keep doing this to myself?" But yeah,
it's what Matt says to himself every second of every day. Let's be honest. There's no point where anybody, no matter the lead you have, where you honestly feel like you're like, all right, I got this in the book. Until down to like the last player maybe. And even still, just like Matt, well, I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Saving all your hope for single player.
We're there. Let's just go into the absolute slaughter fest. Sorry, Lindley.
This was rough. I mean,
Jen had one person who didn't go
but it
off.
wasn't. You know what? It's just mostly, I think, just been rough for Lindley this whole season. So it's not really going her way. I think she's pretty unhappy with her team right about now. And just to throw salt in the wound, I said wound. Fucking Jennifer comes out there and just goes swinging.
Four
just
defenses.
Destroyed.
Wow.
I mean, you were beating everybody in the league with this score. So
yeah,
and I was really close.
Yeah,
to that score, but
I'm actually kind of surprised like your two teams didn't face off in that one, because that's usually the way it goes. Like when you have somebody who scores like 170 points, they're met up by somebody who scores like 167. You know?
Yep, for sure. This is just one of those times where, you know, Lindley, whether she had a great week or not, you have to get 171 fucking points. You have to have a perfect week.
Yeah.
You know, and oddly enough, looking down Jennifer's team, she really didn't have one player playing, which is Josh Kelly. So that's crazy to me that she still scored 171 fucking points. But running quarterbacks here, if we go start there, Lindley's been sticking with Trevor Lawrence here, and I don't know if he's ever gonna. Can you click on a stat line? I don't know if he's met his projected yet this season. Nope. Not one time. So he hasn't met his projected points once. So if I'm in her shoes, I'm looking QB. Does she have somebody on her bench?
Daniel Jones.
Ah, she's fucked. Why don't you go pick up Zach Wilson while you're at it?
Yeah.
Go back up.
All right.
Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson getting 30 points, and then we line up here, and it pretty much is a match for only their wide receiver one, which is 16 to 18 points there between St. Brown and A.J. Brown, which I thought A.J. Brown was actually going to have a little better game than that, but, you know, hey, it's cool. Yeah. Meanwhile, we moved from there on out, and Keenan Allen just had himself a feast.
Stop the beating.
44 points. And then we moved down even further, and it gets worse for Lindley as time goes on here. Her points keep dropping with Gibbs, A.J. Dillon, and then everything else. And then we look over on the right, and Joe Mixon, Walker, Kittle. I mean, even Kittle hit over 10 points for her. Zach Moss with 22.
Zach Moss is not going to do that every week, though. Let's be real.
I don't even think Kittle's going to do that. So that's.
I mean, it's shocking that he's had these two, but yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Well, this was just, you know, between if we'll get to all the teams here, but if you look at Jennifer's team, my team, and Mike's team, I don't know if I've ever seen so many monstrous games in 1 week from so many teams.
Nope.
There were a lot of points to be had this week, and have multiple teams. I think Mike was over 150 as well.
Yep.
Just to have 3 teams that are over 150 points. That's fucking. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Usually, you're lucky if you see, one every few weeks.
Yeah.
Let alone 3. I mean, that the Dolphins game really added a bunch of points. I mean, there were several just games that were great for fantasy. Either way, Lindley, you're what was I don't know, she's 1 and 2 or
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
So
not last place,
yeah.
so you're better than me.
Yeah, but do you have a 1 and 2 record, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just by points then.
Yeah, and points have not been good. So
this week is your week to go 170, Johnny.
Right, I wish. We want it, and then we can move on to this game.
Either way, Lindley, good work. You found a way to look even worse against 171 points.
Congrats, Jen. Getting the absolute beatdown of everybody there. Do you think she was going down just like letting Clay call out plays for those guys? Like, what's his name
those two are probably number 1 in collusion in the whole league. I mean, if I had to bet on who colludes the most, it's probably those two. There's probably a lot of collusion going on. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Johnny? 2 people that would collude the most in the league. Who? Go.
Well, it used to be like Matt and Catherine, but yeah, they're gone now. So, or she's gone now. R.I.P. And Matt's kind of gone too because he hasn't joined us on the podcast. So kind of R.I.P. there too.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Matt too and his team. I love it.
So now moving forward to
Bobo,
Mike versus
Bobo
Dave. Mike got some of that Miami action there with 4 passing TDs.
He is, no matter where he went. Now, if you go down to his bench, because I wanted to talk about this because Justin Herbert and Tua.
Holy shit.
I was thinking like, oh man, like, which way is he going to go this week? Because he played Herbert the week before and then he played Tua this week. And they were within what? A 0.01 of each other?
Fucking
close. Crazy. So you couldn't have gone, he couldn't have gone wrong with either choice this week, obviously. But what's crazy to me is having a 70 point scoring game for Miami that he only put up 37.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I would have thought that would be like a 70-point game for somebody who puts up 70 points worth of touchdowns or scoring out of the field. That's crazy to me. But that was the wildest game I think I've ever seen. So many points.
Absolutely insane.
50-point spread. Nobody covered.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And don't worry if you guys are thinking, oh, hey, this week I'm going to start anybody who's playing against the Denver fucking Broncos. Well, guess what? You got the Chicago fucking Bears taking it over. And we don't have Taylor Swift joining in the stands for this one.
But we'll just roll down, I guess, through Mike's team. Devonta Adams, just fucking monster game, 40 points. Deebo Samuel, 23, which I think he may have hurt his ribs or something in that game. So he may, I don't know if he hasn't been practicing, I guess. So he just says sore ribs, which is good. It's not broken ribs. So he'll probably still play for next week. But Josh Jacobs had a less than 10-point game. DeAndre Swift is continuing to produce. Being, like I said last week, as a Lions fan and fucking Swift on the team. When we got rid of him, I wasn't happy to see the guy go. I always thought he was super talented, but he's made of glass. So it'll be interesting to see how long he
holds.
Yeah, how long he holds with it. But he's looking great out there. He's crushing it. But 15 points out of him. Mike's worst spot was his tight end spot with Mark Andrews, which I thought would have had more than 5 points, but it is what it is.
Struggling against
Atwell. The Rams, Atwell, another receiver that you're like, what? Oh, that guy? Yeah, okay. How is he getting up more, especially with it's just a, I don't know, man. It's a, they're getting a lot of points for the receivers in the Rams, and it'll be interesting to see when Cooper Kupp comes back how these guys still fare after that. But Anyways, over on Dave's team.
Team.
Do we even have to talk about Dave's team? I mean, is he ever even part of the league? I don't really know.
Started Fields consistently, which, however, you got in a little bit of the points eating in Denver Miami the past week. They were in Denver, but then on from there,
got 30.
Kinda,
but again,
he scored over 100 points though. So
look,
100 points normally wins you a game in this league.
Yeah, especially he's almost 110. But again, I'm going to say the same thing as I said about Tua. Tyreek Hill had, and I'm going to use this word lightly, only 30 points. I mean, Devonta Adams had 40 points almost, and he beat Tyreek Hill in a game that was 70-2.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't watch the entirety of the last quarter or anything, but you think Tyreek had a fucking 80, 90 point game with PPR.
Yeah.
But
yep.
Either way, rolling down through Dave is just he had a decent week overall. I mean, a well-balanced week.
Purdy get a couple extra points, but wouldn't have done it.
He had nothing on his bench, but Kamara's about to come back.
Kamara's coming back. Taylor's got what? 1 more week? 2 more weeks? 2 more weeks?
Well, no, I don't know. There's talks of possible trade, which is probably the best thing that could ever happen to Jonathan Taylor. But it sounds like the Colts are being pretty stingy about him, and they don't want to trade him, and they don't want to pay him what he wants.
Yeah.
So being he's stuck in contract, he's just refusing to play. And I don't. Either way, even if they end up paying him, I think there's going to be bad blood there. I don't think you're going to get the Jonathan Taylor of last year.
But just never do.
You don't
in those
feel
situations.
like you probably are going to drop him either, right? I mean, that's the thing. Same with Javonte why does it say? Oh, Jameson Williams. There we go.
Jameson.
I was like, Jamal's back? No. Yeah. It's a suspension. So again, that's another one. But
that one's coming back.
If I'm Dave, though, I'm worried because I don't have a lot to pivot from. I have nothing to pivot from except one running back. Possibly 2 after this week with Kamara coming back. But, he's sitting on a PUP R, which, is whether or not he may play at all this season, and a suspension, which he's got to hold out for 3 more fucking weeks before Jameson Williams comes back. So those are a rough couple spots to hold on to on a team that doesn't really have any depth right there in the bench.
Yeah.
But.
And when do buys start happening? Like week 6, 7?
2 weeks from now. No, because I have some buys. I have some buys in week 5.
Yeah.
Already. So.
Wolf City, y'all. Moving forward to the second highest score of the week, taking advantage of the Patty Mahomes trade that we had there.
Yeah,
I should have just fucking kept that sumbitch.
Yeah, much like Jennifer beat my wife, I beat Jennifer's wife. And I made sure to put the smack on him too. So that was a pretty ugly blowout game. I mean, I hit everywhere possible, it feels like. My worst player was Rashad White at 6.7 points, but I mean, Mahomes 31, Olave 15, Evans 14, Mostert in that monstrous game 41 points. That's more than Tyreek Hill in that game. Mike Williams, RIP, man, hate to see you go. He started trending upward for me and gave me one last hurrah before he decided to tear his fucking ACL. So I'm happy to see Kelsey did some points finally for me. He's been a little bit rough to draft as your number 1 pick this year.
Yeah.
To say Taylor Swift power. I want her to come to every fucking game. I'll take it.
God.
And then Ford, my new homeboy for Cleveland. I just hope Kareem Hunt doesn't start vulturing from him because he's on a roll with good points as a running back. But over on Clay's team, made a solid choice to play Goff. Obviously, Diggs. Now, this is where it comes off the tracks a little for him. Higgins has not been producing, but neither has Joe Burrow.
Well, he had one game. He had one
of 3, though, overall, right?
Yeah.
So that is like, okay, he had 25 points the game before.
That is wild that he had 8 targets, didn't catch any.
Yeah.
12 targets and caught most of them. And then another 8 and only caught 2. Yeah, it's pretty wild down there.
But you look at those numbers, and his catch percentages are terrible right now. But I've also been watching the game and had some stock in, obviously, Joe Burrow, and he looks fucking terrible.
Yeah.
He looks awful. He is not, I mean, he looks really rough right now. And obviously T. Higgins is just not getting passes in a relatively catchable facility.
No.
Because, if you go 0 for 8, I mean, come on.
Something's wrong.
Obviously, something's wrong. And it's not usually no professional receiver in the NFL should ever go 0 for 8 unless a quarterback is like, I'm going to throw 12 yards out in front of you every pass. So
or 5 feet above you.
I think when Burrow, if he gets his shit together, maybe not. But if not, Higgins, that's a bad sign for him. Just this season for all the Bengals. But I mean, Pollard, Etienne, both. Yeah,
Etienne, good production. Goddard, a little less than what
6
you wanted,
points.
but whatever. That's still good from a fucking tight end.
Yeah, if you can get 6 out of a tight end, it's like, all right, I'll take it.
Cook and Buffalo there putting up solid points, hitting above your projection.
And Puka Nacua, who came back down to earth a little this week and got less than 10 points. And that's where Atwell came in for Bobo, because he got all the hog. He hogged the ball that game. So it'll be interesting to see how those ones shake out with those two. But
left some points
on the benches,
board.
man. Even on my benches, I had points everywhere. I had James Conner with 16, Pierce 13, Zay Flowers 9, Sutton 17, Nico Collins 4. And I mean, on Clay's side, he only had a quarterback, which is 18 points, and then another quarterback, which only had 9.
He picked up your Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I trashed Burrow, and it's obvious that at 9 points, again, I'm making the right moves to get away from Joe Burrow, and I'm going to stick to that the rest of the season. But
well, obviously,
yeah, he's just done nothing. Click on his stats. I mean, you think he had like 2? Let's see, 3 points, 20 points, 9 points. I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get more even production out of Justin Fields.
That's saying something. That is
fucking
saying
Clay now
something.
has up to 4 quarterbacks, so I've never seen that. It seems like a Nerad move, except with kickers.
2, 3. It's 3.
No. After this, he had 4. We counted 4. He had 4 at one point. This was before the waiver. He had 4. So
goddamn, Clay.
But anyways,
yeah, moving forward.
Glad I could beat you, Clay. Have a great night.
You've got me versus Brendan here.
Don't bully me. I'll come.
Yeah. So
you got to say his name. It's funny.
This trade is already killing me, but the Derrick Henry thing is not working out.
Dude, I watched a good chunk of that. And,
as soon as I pick him up, 2 fucking points.
Yep.
Like, god damn.
Dude, I felt bad. I'm not gonna. I felt legitimately bad, and I even said it out loud, audibly, to the people I was hanging out with watching the Lions game, and I was like, man. I just traded somebody for Henry, and he decided to shit the fucking bed on the first game.
Bed.
They're like, well, you are going against him, right?
Nope.
No, but I feel bad. So
yeah, nothing
Brees
happened
Hall.
on my team other than Chase and Hurts did all right.
You had no running backs. Let's face it.
No running backs.
You had a combined total of 2, 4, 7.5 points.
Yeah.
for 3 of your 3 running backs that you started. And yeah, Johnny,
Yeah.
I think you have some solidness in Lockett, Chase, and Henry, and outside of that, I mean Higbee did produce for you.
Yeah.
For as far as the tight end goes, that's for sure. So I mean, I think those spots are looking up for you. But yeah, what do you got on your bench going right now?
There's been some altercations that have happened.
There it is. There's the McKinnon factor, the one you want him to be so good at fantasy all the time, but he'll give you 5-1 and
yeah. I set the wrong people this week. That's for sure.
Now would it have been enough to win? Yes, absolutely. It
Yeah.
would have. If you started Madison and
Yep.
you would have definitely had enough to win.
Yep.
But you played a damn Bear. There's your first mistake.
Yep. I'm aware. Okay, I'm a Bears fan.
All right,
I'll deal with it.
All right.
We've done some purging. All right.
Moving over to Don't Bully Me, I'll come side.
CeeDee Lamb, not doing so hot. Cousins,
Kirk Cousins,
fucking throwing
number one
goddamn
QB on the year.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. This is fucking unreal.
yeah.
Mr. fucking Bone Thugs and
24,
Harmony.
38, 33. Yeah, buddy. Michigan Stater. Let's go.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Just pains me to think
anyways,
that guy would be the guy that's taken off.
you know what's funny? I've had this conversation so many times with so many people. If you look back in like the last 5 years, he is in the top 5 of fantasy points on the year every year. Every fucking year, and you would never know it. Like you just don't
because
know.
You're like,
oh, why am I playing Kirk Cousins?
They suck.
Yeah. So he has been very good, and you can always get him so late in drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always just available. Hell, Brendan may have not even drafted him. He may have picked him up later.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Amari Cooper, another name I can't trust. But how has he been doing on the whole year so far? What is he at?
He's got 12,
22, and 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Trending upward. Trending upward.
It's never a bad thing.
Yep. It looks like he's had some good matchups for it, too. Ranked like the 2nd, 4th, and 9th worst against the wide receiver.
Hey,
so
you know
good
what?
matchups for Cooper.
There's nothing wrong with that. I like
Nope.
matchups.
Other than that, how he got there was really, didn't have a whole lot. I guess a 99 pointer, like you said, Johnny, 100 points usually wins you a game. It did just that. If you had made one or more,
would have had to make 2 choices.
Here, yeah, 2 choices, but
we're working on it.
But normally, I thought you were starting Madison. That's what you have been doing,
and I
right?
pulled him out because I think I was like, hey, we're gonna get. Well, I think I pulled him out and put Henry in, and then I was like, I thought that Breece Hall was going to do better in New England, but that obviously didn't pan out. I thought they were going to be running the ball more because of fucking,
the rain.
The kid.
Wasn't it raining? And
I don't know about the rain part, but I just like not having fucking
a
quarterback. Like you would think they'd be putting the ball in the running back's hands, but apparently they don't have a fucking run. Yeah, whatever. Fuck the Jets.
They just don't have an offense.
Yeah.
Period. They can't move the ball down the way. But
yeah. So
he had Deshaun Watson over on his bench. So I think last week didn't he start Watson, if I recall? Because I think we talked about it.
I think so. Yeah.
So I think last week he did start him.
Probably got deferred because of that 16 points there. I was like, I'm going to put in him.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in my other QB.
Well, Brendan, you got 24
right
points. I think Lindley needs a quarterback. Actually, you know what? Fuck that, Clay. You've got 17 of them. So why don't you make a trade with Lindley for a quarterback?
And now, last but not least, the tightest game of the week. And
this is by far my favorite game of the week. Do you know what? There was some impressive, and I dare say, once-in-a-lifetime scores between 3 of us having such high points. But that wasn't even nearly the fun part about this week. The fun part of this fucking week was going to sleep with Matt being down only a handful of fucking points coming into Monday Night Football. And Kyren Williams is just not doing much. And I was like, I don't see how he's not going to at least get 6 points. He's still got half a game left to go. Nope, didn't happen. Woke up, didn't score the rest of the points. Fucking lost by less than 1 point, which,
Oof.
Johnny, we all know Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets his ass kicked 130-70 or something, he doesn't like to lose like that, but he sure isn't blowing a gasket. I know for a fact he blew a fucking gasket on this game. There's no other. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for Matt in this game. Just watching it ever so intently, like it's the Bears in the Super Bowl playing against Justin. And he's just waiting to one running back to just do it all. But let's talk about the matchup.
Yeah, let's get into it. Dak Prescott. Cowboys had to be flying pretty high. Them boys going into Arizona like, We're gonna fuck some shit up.
We're gonna beat them. The whole world's like, oh, there's no way Arizona's winning this game. There's no way. Nope, no chance. The Cowboys are gonna beat the shit out of them.
Stonewalled.
And meanwhile, Arizona prison sexed them. And it was pretty awesome, honestly. A lot of good fantasy points out of that game for like James Conner and Marquise Brown. But it didn't seem like there was a lot of good fantasy points from the old Dem Boys. Sure, but at the same time, he lost that matchup to Josh Allen. If you go across the board, I mean, Allen put up almost 10 points more, and so he's losing for quarterback to quarterback. But the Justin Jefferson factor kicked in, and again, this dude just is, I don't see why he shouldn't have been the number 1 draft pick. Versus Christian McCaffrey.
Should have been, but
I just click on his stats. I mean, he has no inconsistency of 22, 23, 22, 23, 25. Just like, you cannot, under any, he's breaking 150 yards every fucking game.
You're going to have to have like 2 designated guys that go out and just cover him going forward. That's the only downside to it, is be like, they are going to double team the shit out of him, which will then blow up a couple other, it'll blow up a couple other receivers eventually, and then you'll see, oh, hey, well, we got to cover the entire field, and then he's going to be open again. So he'll have like a little drought here, I feel like, in the week 5-ish range. This is my prediction. I don't know shit about fantasy football, so this is what I'm thinking. About week 5, we'll see a little drought from him, maybe into week 6, and then all of a sudden the other guys around him will start getting a shit ton of points in those 2 weeks, and then they'll be like, well, shit, we can't just double team him the entire goddamn time, and all of a sudden he'll be right back to where this is. And by the way, I don't think he's going to come down that much. He's going to be at like, oh, he scored like 10 to 15 points versus the 20 plus. That's my prediction. You heard it here first.
Right. You heard it here first.
It's going to be wrong.
This is like a weather forecast.
What he's going to do is he's going to die.
Maybe, Johnny, that's what you need to do, man.
What?
Go back to your roots. Quit playing around with this Malort Trophy name and all this other shit. Just go back to J.G. motherfucking Wentworth.
J.G. Wentworth. I think
just
too
go
long.
back.
But
you can get creative. Maybe just name your team Wentworth.
Wentworth.
Real
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, just Wentworth.
But
anyways,
keeping with the game.
McCaffrey over on Matt's team, continuing to produce. This one hurt him pretty bad in this game. I know he obviously had more expectations out of Bijan Robinson, but we only got him 8 points, so he didn't really get the 10-plus point game that Matt is expecting out of him.
Well, because didn't he have some fucking monster week last week?
I think he's had all good weeks.
Oh, yeah.
17,
20.
20, and 8. So he pretty much fell in half of what he normally has been putting out.
Yeah, which would have won that game.
Meanwhile, I think DJ Moore is that his best game of the year?
Probably. No. Second.
Nope. Okay. So he's just so not on my radar that I didn't even realize he had 14 points last week.
It was all probably garbage stuff, if I remember right.
Yeah. Well, it's just more surprising because Justin Fields can't throw. So
yeah, that touchdown came in like the garbage time. So
those are the best though.
Yeah,
I love for fantasy football when teams are getting close to garbage time like that because it's just all your wide receivers just get lit, just peppered.
That entire
everybody's playing soft D.
That entire fucking what's it called? Miami game. No one gave a fuck. Like those are all fucking garbage points right there.
Yeah, little known fact: the highest scoring game ever in the NFL is 72 points. So they were close to breaking the record. Which, man, if I knew that, I would have just throw Tua in there, do whatever. I would make sure you get that, like the record 72.
Because they pulled Tua, didn't they? Like what, third quarter or some shit like that, fourth. Yeah. Smart move after him having like that massive brain injury.
Yeah, that was a pretty butthole blowout.
Anything on the benches here? Oh, Matt.
Let's see.
Matt.
Poor
Matt
chose not to go with Freiermuth this week.
Yeah.
And that would have been enough to win.
Yep.
So let's continue on that. Marquise Brown would have been enough to win in any of his spots. Other than that, yeah.
So
He definitely had many ways to win. Justin, on the other hand, he showed his cards.
Yeah, he did not.
We know what cards he has.
Talking about Cup, we talked about Cup earlier. When him coming back possibly could be a big deal.
Well, you know what? As a Rams organization, when you look at some of these young receivers that they have now with Puka and Atwell, and those guys like are obviously showing out for at least being like high level receivers. So if you're dealing with an injury and coming back, are you going to push Cup if you have a decent record? Probably not. You're going to wait and rest them until you're probably, deeper into the season to see if you even have a shot at the playoffs.
Right.
But you don't want to damage your number one receiver by bringing him back too early. So it'll be interesting. I don't know if he's coming back soon. So I think these guys are going to feast for a while.
Ayuk going out was a rough one too. Not that Justin needed it, but definitely a note. He's been doing really well.
Yeah, he sounds like he's going to be back this week though.
Yeah, possibly. So. I really hope so. In another league, I didn't even catch my own fucking advice to set your goddamn lineups, people, because
does nobody listen to you, Johnny?
I know, even myself.
Including yourself.
I fucked up, and I had him in, and they played the Thursday night game, and he went out like 2 hours ahead of time, and I did not catch it. And I get done with work at like 6 o'clock, and about 6:30 normally now, and it was like I didn't even fucking see the alert, didn't have anything going, and I'm just like, and I looked down, I was like, oh god damn it.
Son of a bitch.
Right. So
it's happened to the best of us.
Thursday night games,
kids.
And London starts in like a week, right? We played that fucking London game where it's going to start at like fucking 3 in the goddamn morning.
I think it's like 8 or 9
but
8 a.m., but it's a really early game.
It's fucking early.
I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
Congratulations, Justin. Matt, sucks
you
to suck.
Throw up the standings quick?
Oh.
Or,
I was trying to avoid it.
This is great. On our end, we're making sure that we all rooted for Justin in that game. We had Justin Chance going. So Matt, you really know how the league feels about you and winning. That's for sure.
Well, I should have changed my name because it just drug me right back down to the bottom, and I've also scored the least amount of points.
Yeah, because really at this point you should just put your name as last place.
Yeah. Exactly. I thought about it.
Not far away from you by only a handful of points is Dan Cameltoes.
I'm feeling a turnaround. I'm going to turn on the afterburners. We're going to go from there. So we got you. We got Mike coming in at number 2. We got Jen. Got Brendan. Fucking Dave somehow in the goddamn middle, like always. Fucking Justin.
It's just
Matt, Clay, Lindley.
And look at how Justin rose from the bottom.
I know.
To 6th with just that one win. You know? He's had a lot of points that he scored and overall, but he's had a lot of points against him too. So
I'm gonna go with it's still early process.
It's still early. I'm a firm believer that you can still go 0-3 all day and make the playoffs. So if you're 1-2, you make the playoffs. I mean, this is silly. You're not out of it, but you're obviously having to hit on a few more players to make it forward.
And even you are only like 1 to 3 injuries away from being at the bottom too.
Dude, I am,
like that's the thing. It's like I know the injury train hasn't hit anybody insanely hard yet, but it's
hit everybody this year, man. I just lost fucking Mike Williams to an ACL tear on last week. I feel like I've lost one person every week since the season has started. There's been a lot of knee injuries this year. I mean, whether you had Chubb or Mike Williams, but it doesn't matter. I think what was surprising me is you got Brendan, who's now in the 4th spot, and he's never even really played fantasy football.
Right,
he played like one other year with another league.
About how it goes usually. You get your first one in, you do really well, and then it comes in and fucks your life up for a while.
He's been studying. He's put all his free time into making sure his team is good. He's committed.
He's committed.
In.
He's in. All right. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah.
You good? Perfect. Remember to set your goddamn lineups, kids.
Don't do what Johnny does.
Yeah, don't be a bad apple. Heroin's bad, okay?
Drugs are good, I'm good.
All right, fuckers. See you next time. Bye.
Love ya.